What's going on, guys? Tyson Anderson, Mr. Hammer Down. Listen, guys, here I am over here on the other side of Briar Country, and I want to tell you guys that we're in the off season. So now we have that opportunity to take on all of those frailties, all of those distinguishing things that's been setting us apart, right? Well, now is the time that you tackle those situations, those obstacles, those problems that you have in the kennel. Maybe you have the resources to do that. Maybe you have the time. Maybe you don't. Having the know-how, having the know what, and then having the time to carry out what it is that you know and how you know to do what it is you know is very paramount, very, very key to the forward progressing of a kennel and the sustaining of a kennel and the succession of a kennel. Here's the thing, training that developmental staged puppy or that learning puppy and that completed out dog that just needs the ground time. Here's the thing, everybody can't handle those dogs. Everybody can't handle the soft dog. Everybody can't handle the hard dog, a shy dog. There are different type of levels to applying experiences to each dog, okay? And here, what we're doing is I'm going to open up the floor to take on about 5 or 6 dogs in the off season. Pardon me for the noise back there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take on, let's say, the puppies. If you want those dogs developed, they will be somewhere between $400 and $500 a month per dog. I know guys are saying, oh my God, that's a lot of money. It breaks down to, if it's 100, that's $100. If it's 500, that breaks down to just $100 a week, okay? 7 days, I'm gonna work with that dog, whether that's me hands-on, bringing that dog on to break off a deer, to work on handling, or whatever the situational scenario, I'm gonna be doing that, right? And exercising those rites of passage. Now, and passion. Now, to me, $100 to $125 a week is nothing, because this is not only an extension of the livelihood, but this is passion. It's almost like eating McDonald's. It's a fast food, boom, quick, bam, bam, versus that of a soul food restaurant, right? Where they're taking their time and they've, cut those potatoes and they've peeled back those whatevers. They're taking their time, all their soul and energy has been transmitted and transferred into that, right? Same thing is going on in this scenario, in this situation. So here, now I'm giving him my all, and I've thought about it. I've got close to about 3,700 acres here that I can have access to. And I'm gonna go into the details of allowing you guys to see that. Most of them you guys have saw, some of those places you guys have not, that I picked up over between the hunting season and now being the off season. And I'm constantly picking up more places. So what I'm looking to do is in the off season is to take on guys' dogs, because you really have to be careful that you don't send your dog to someone that is only qualified to embrace a shy dog and you send a bold dog, or they can only embrace a bold dog and you send a shy dog, or you send a hard-headed dog and they're used to a soft, gentle, docile type of temperamented dog, right? And demeanor dog. You have to be careful, because placement and timing of the placement on that learning curve is very paramount, very, very critical and very crucial to the development of that dog's successful gaining and learning years, right? So with that being said, I want to say this, with grown dogs, just to condition, all you want is conditioning. It's going to range anywhere from $300 to $350. Okay, it could go up to $400 depending on what you're wanting and what you're needing done. All right, so that's that. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to, and this is a puppy directly off of our very own Anderson's Black Bart by field champion Burst Lake Pretty Boy 2 and Anderson's Pretty Girl Rock. Okay, bred back to Southwoods Kylie, who was out of field champion Cooper Lake Cowboy, who was out of near field champion Southwoods Spike. Bred back to Southwoods Bala, who was out of Spike, Cowboy's littermate sister, being Southwoods Cyclone. Okay, who was also out of near field champion Southwoods Spike. But that's irrelevant. Here, she will go through the same stages of what we're offering. Listen to me, guys. Don't lay that puppy up for the sake of a couple bucks. Don't let that miss or allow you to miss a great advantage. I'm not talking about just because it's myself. I'm saying because you need someone that's going to give attention to detail. Get behind those dogs. Sometimes we're doing 2 a days, not all the time with puppies, because you don't want to overwork that workhorse or that special contender with that potential, right? You don't want to blow it up. You don't want to make them feel as if this isn't fun, right? You want to keep them on the edge, right? And you have to know how to do that. Conditioning dogs, you have to know how to do that. It's a time-consuming situation, but you have to be passionate about that to allow your time to be consumed with such a task at hand, okay? So take a look at some of the properties that we have right here. Starting with the low country, if I had to say, the briars here, as you can see, are just, man, are splendid for that transition of a dog, coming down from, you know, the high country of hare country, running the snowshoe hare or the larger cottontails, and maybe in more open woods and they need to be tightened up. This type of brush right here is something very, very unique, very informative on, or as to how, your dog is actually able to run the line accurately, especially doing a lot of night running over here, early morning, you know, dry, midday, different things, different situations I can put that dog in, but be it young pup or a dog I'm just trying to condition and put, you know, the miles on accurately. You know, is also, in my opinion, the briars are that we have here, as you see, are also good for the transitioning of a dog to come down here and needing to know how to run a cottontail accurately. It will tighten him or her up, and I mean that makes them more accountable to the line. Now, this right here isn't the ideal type of, you know, excuse me, or pardon me, it isn't the actual, you know, whatever, you know, you would call it for the most opportune location, and demographic for speed and drive style, but more so like as a rabbit hunter, you know, that hounds and handler, or also hounds and hunting type of format. You know, I'm a rabbit hunter, so I gotta have this being the broom straw. You know, I love the broom straw. Broom straw is another great aspect to have. You know, if you have a dog that's used to open woods, the thicker the broom straw is, the better. And, you know, it transitions that one property to the backside of this right here is just a different time frame. And these little rabbits do things like what it just did. There's no scent on the ground. The dogs actually, it came right through there and couldn't smell it. And then you have the lap piles, you know, just like this right here, you know, and it shifts and transitions over to the open woods where you can test those dogs and really see what's going on, you know, all the way down to the cow pastures and hog farm. You know, we've got 2 of those that I have access to. And this property right here is just a phenomenal property. Scenting has never really been extremely well there, right? It's never been exceptionally well there, but that's a good thing because I'm able to use and utilize each situation that's being presented to me at hand. I'm able to take that and run with it with the certain type of dog that I know needs to be there to be acclimated to whatever it is I believe this certain type of terrain has to offer. If that male or that female, that dog is needing that type of acclimation, that type of transitioning, that type of merging, and this one of many properties can assist, that's where I run that dog. At least a lot more of the time in that piece or part or stage of transitioning. A lot of people don't think that it's that serious. They don't think that it matters where you run a dog at, how you run a dog, and how you bring that dog on, and how many dogs you run with that dog. But we run early. I run early morning. I run late evening. I actually even had some video clips that I've had that I was able to, you know, I didn't post up in this particular, you know, skit or slide, just because I really wasn't thinking about it, but I think it was really important. The guys that know how we run dogs know I really run the fire into dogs, not just out of them. Resting is very key. So if I'm running all the time, I can't do exactly what I want to do without rest. So I believe in resting the dog. And resting the dog allows me to really fully evaluate that dog. And so this particular property here, again, is another hog farm. It's not 15, 20 minutes within my house, within range. And it really allows me to do some things as far as in that evaluation department. It shows me again that sand. It shows me that clay dirt. It shows me a little bit of swamps on the back end. We've got bean fields, in their season of planting that's out there. We've got this right here that transitions on the way other side, maybe about 45 minutes away, back to the open woods, that transition over into the really green open woods that's more like the hare country. This is sort of like one of the final stages of the dog. I go, it just depends on how they want the dog, what exactly you're wanting out of the dog. But, we have these open woods like this. These are all different properties. And like I said, these different properties, they bid me different evaluation scales. They bid me different approaches to develop this dog fundamentally, right? And I get to evaluate and see what's going on. In certain times of the year, I can get really good footage, really good evaluation, visual, just because I can see the dogs and what they're doing afar off. Then we have the swampland. A lot of guys don't think we do, but we do have that here. It looks like, that specific type of duck-oriented swamp, but that's not what it is. It's just like this here. Some of it knee deep, some of it waist deep, and it really lets you see what a dog is doing when it comes to cutting and so forth. As you saw, sorry about that, as you guys have saw, we have a wide range of property, those that's ranging from the low country thick briars to the broom straw, to the open woods, to the swampland, pretty much all to the pine trees, all of what a dog would need essentially to develop and bring themselves on, right? So if you're interested and you're seriously interested, I want you to dial that number, pick up the phone or send me an email at Anderson's Beagle, that's plural, S, 2010 at gmail.com. That's Anderson's Beagles 2010 at gmail.com. Or reach me by cell phone. I always have that handy dandy cell phone at area code 910-658-6857. Again, that number is 910, it's area code 658-6857. Listen, I put all my heart and my time into these dogs. Most of the time I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I run until lunchtime. I come in, I have my bit of lunch, and then I go right back out around 5, 6 o'clock, and I run until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not really sleeping a lot, but napping throughout the day, right, and evening. And these dogs are the priority because I want to bring them on developmentally and fundamentally. I want to bring those dogs on fundamentally. And in order to do that, you have to understand the basic fundamentals of bringing on a dog and progressing that dog. If you don't, and you don't know that, you don't understand that, then you're not going to do that. And you can send your dog with a person, they could be gone for 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year, and come back and know nothing. Physically, the dog looks like it has matured, it has progressed, but really, inwardly, mentally, it has stayed unsurprisingly to me, but surprisingly to the consumer that's paying the admission, it has surprisingly remained stationary and actually regressed, because as you get older, you learn, you take on different things. But if you get to a certain age and that dog does not know that it should be knowing within that time frame of the learning curve, then you have to reassess. Well, I just spent this X amount of dollars, so forth, and I have not been able to still obtain the knowledge and understanding, the wisdom, the hands-on type of transference and transmission of knowledge from handler to dog. They have to have that connection. And I tell people generally within the first 2 weeks whether the dog is going to make it or not. So here's my thing, guys. All I ask in all of this that I'm saying, this huge presentation, right, is one thing. Guess what it is? Send me something that I can work with. If you don't send me anything that I can work with, then I can't work with it. I can't take chicken crap and make chicken salad. It's just not going to happen. But if you send me a trio, if you send me a chick, hey, I got something to work with. You can't send me a squirrel and think I'm going to make, rabbit and gravy. I mean, it's just not going to work, right? So send me something to work with. I'll evaluate it, and different evaluations, hey, they vary because we all are opinionated, highly opinionated creatures, and we're going to have different opinions. We're not going to agree. We're going to agree to disagree. That's a good thing because in that is friction. Friction starts fires. Let's trailblaze. But first, let's get together. Let's touch bases. Let's see if we're on the same page. Let's see if I'm the type of handler and houndsman and beagler that you would want to bring your dog on outside of the YouTube videos. I would love for whomever to come out here and physically look at our setup, our kennel setup, and our places to run to facilitate the advancing of the dogs and see if it is up to par and standard. I believe that you guys would take a huge liking and embrace what it is that we have available and we're making available. I can only wait to hear from you guys, to speak with you guys again. Thank you for all of the followerships, the constant support. Hey, we don't take it lightly. I will keep you guys abreast and definitely in the loop to continue to advance that hound. Listen, guys, I hope you guys understand the importance and the severity of having the right handler handle those dogs, because if you don't, I want you to know this one thing: that handler makes the difference in a gun dog, in a trial dog, in a house dog. It's very important. So, if you guys are serious, and this channel is for serious people, you have the information there. I also hit it in the link below. Thank you guys again. Happy off-season training. Spring just started. Let's go. I think we can do it. Tyson Anderson, Mr. Hammer Down. We'll see ya when we see you.
Thank y'all. How y'all doing? Yeah, my name's Colt Ford. I just came here to do a little song for y'all about where I come from, the way I see it. I brought my buddy, Mr. John Michael Montgomery, with me. He's gonna play a little guitar, sing a little bit. I'm gonna do a little something for y'all called Ride Through the Country. Let's go, John. Down the road where the blacktop ends, you can find Colt Ford with all his friends. We used to gravel roads and fishing with cane poles. Wasn't no swimming pools, just swimming holes. We was dirt road poor and cane switch rays. I done came a long way since back